What's transpired is that he's not hired somebody externally. He's moved somebody that was an existing employee over into this newly created position.
Secretary's there, and then the other girl that was the clerical assistant, he hired her. But he hired her the same day that this all was decided.
I would say we gave the $5,000 based on the statement that this individual we were going to give $5,000 more had a lot of prior experience that would help in the position. That person did not take that job, so I think we're back to $5,000.
I would have been here at that meeting. I would have never voted to put this through, because it sounds like to me that somebody had came and told Nick what they wanted to work for. And I don't think that's how we should hire, is that we're going to give somebody more money because they say they want a job, but they want this price to come work.
Well, it was an extraordinary circumstance, and we acknowledged that exact thing. It was like, well, what are we going to do? We have 1 million pages or some ridiculous number of papers that we have to provide the court. The county has to provide the court for this investigation, and there's nobody to do it.
We gave the $5,000 raise under false pretense because we wouldn't know that this person had experience in this field. We needed somebody right now, and that's why I was for giving them the $5,000.
Yeah, I agree.
And this has not happened, so I think we should go back to $5,000. Or that $5,000 stipend should come up.
Well, no, but he said the $5,000 raise, and I was just clarifying, he was talking about the prosecutor secretary's $5,000 and not the prosecutor's $5,000. I just want to make sure that we're talking the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, do you have court or anything that we're bumping up against?
I'm okay for a little bit here.
I'm not understanding.
That's
You have a position.
That's careful.
You have a position, and then you're hiring another one to help that position release the load. So I'm not understanding why you're wanting to up the salary.
Okay, well, the reason is because we were told we needed to up the salary to hire this external candidate.
Yes.
With previous experience.
That was the conversation.
I think, Tracy, I think you have to acknowledge that we're in a bad position at the trial. I mean, do you understand the urgency of why this was an urgent hire?
I guess. But it didn't work out for you, so.
Well, and I agree, and that's why we're here, but like, the decision was made because we were we're between a rock and a hard place. We had to make a decision, and that decision cost us $10,000. We acknowledged what we were doing, it had to be done, or we aren't going to be able to effectively prosecute this case. And if
You really say that, Nick? You don't have these two secretaries, you're not going to be able to fully prosecute this case?
I mean, that's a hard question to answer. I don't know. I'm definitely, I think kind of rock and hard place because of lack of staff and lack of resources. The defense has unlimited resources. Essentially, they can ask the judge for what they need. The judge will make that decision, but they don't have to get approval from anybody but the judge. And so whatever resources they ask for, if the judge believes are reasonable, they're going to get approved for. And it could be put me at a disadvantage. It absolutely could. I can't say that it will. It's too hard to say right now.
we cannot afford to mess up the trial, period. All the resources have to be there. Now, what we can debate is whether it's worth risking $5,000 or $10,000 to accomplish that. That's a fair debate. But like, we all need to keep in mind here, the thing that has to happen is this case has to go through the process, be adjudicated, and resource constraints we cannot be the story about why this case was not adjudicated properly. Okay, so like, let's just, I think we have to keep the end goal in mind, that all the resources are there for this case to go smoothly, and for us to do everything that the court asks of us, asks of the prosecutor's office, so that they have the resources to comply with that. So, like, anything is on the table, but if we do anything to compromise that mission, I think we do it to our detriment, both fiscally and morally. So that's just my 2 cents on it.
I don't know.
She's not a paralegal, she's not creating documents.
Thank you.
She is creating documents, actually.
But not like legal documents like a paralegal does.
She is actually. She's filing motions for me. She's drafting motions to dismiss,
And
subpoenas.
please, this is not a debate, please. I'm glad to hear you, and you have a good point, but let's just, please. And sorry, Tim, I'm not.
That's fine. Can you go ahead?
So one point I would like to make is through the years, this body has always said, we do not pay the person, we pay the job for the job description. We don't pay for the person, we pay for the job description.
these two people have the same job description, and the current secretary was working for the amount she was working for, and she's been working down at the center for that amount prior to him asking for the raise for the person that he wanted to come here to have the experience, but did not come, then why do we need to give them a $5,000 raise because she was working in that position and doing that job? And the girl that's moving up from the assistant's position is going to get a $10,000 raise to go up to that prosecutor secretary position. So I don't understand why there's even a question here. You don't pay for the person, you pay for the job description. And that's been stated in this body several times over.
And so the question is, are we removing the $5,000 from both positions? And Josh seems to think that if we do, that we're going to
No, I
earn
did
the
not say
try.
that. I want to say, before we act, we need to look at it through that lens of the consequence.
Everybody in my office has been working really hard to get everything done and accomplish what we need to. It's really hard because I don't know what the future is going to bring. I don't know how many hearings we're going to have before the trial. I know we have a couple set now. I don't know, at this point, I don't know how many witnesses we're going to have, but it's going to be in the hundreds. And as we get closer and further down the line, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of coordination from everybody in my office. And I don't know if what we have we can handle. I won't know until I get there. And that's the hard part, is to try to determine. Because if it ends tomorrow, let's just say it ended tomorrow for whatever reason, that your job would end.
I just want to say, the clerk's office, if the prosecutor's office is getting a lot more stuff, that all trickles down to my office. So my office staff is working harder too, because now we're fulfilling all of the stuff from the murder trial. I'm not here asking for more money, I'm just stating that it's not just his office that's working more. We get sometimes, and I'm not exaggerating, 12, 15 emails a day from news organizations wanting all of these documents. And now we have to stop what we're doing and provide those documents.
I get all those same emails too.
I'm starting to get those.
So, I mean, it's not just his office that's increased, and I have no more staff. We just make it work. We do it. If it means I stay after 5 o'clock to finish it, I stay after 5 and finish it.
I just want to go back and scan. We're talking about, what we have at risk is $10,000, right?
Actually, the general fund.
Well, yeah. So let's just test. Everybody's wound up about this because it's people, right? And the jealousy between all these things. Just stepping back, we have a 2 point. Can you get control of the meeting?
Just continue. I've been really fair to try and let everybody speak, so let's keep that. Go ahead.
We have a $2.1 million department now that is this trial, and we have a $5,000 or $10,000 question mark around that. Do we wait? I mean, in the grand scheme of a $2.1 million expenditure, is $5,000 with the potential consequence of derailing it worth that risk? And understanding that I'm talking about the worst case scenario, right? We don't comply with the court, we don't get the right stuff done, and we get down the road and they declare a mistrial. There's lots of ways that goes really wrong because we didn't hold up what the court said that we should hold up.
So now you're saying there's possibly going to be a mistrial because we don't fund $10,000.
I'm saying
No, that's.
That is what you said.
I'm saying that is a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But let's just be real. If we don't do anything and we don't supply the defense with the documents that they have requested, the judge will know. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I try not to be hyperbolic when I'm in here, but is there merit to what I was saying? Can you just explain what would happen in the eventuality that we didn't fill a position, you didn't have the resources you need, and we were not able to respond to the court or to the are we responding to the court or to the defense attorney?
Both, possibly. I mean, the really risk is that if the trial has to be delayed because of me, if I have to ask for a continuance, the state only has so much time to try a case. And so if things are delayed because I don't have discovery in or I don't have something else done, that's where the problem lies. So that's really the risk, I guess, that comes to the forefront of my mind, that being able to get stuff done and being able to respond quickly to a motion from the or an order from the court or a motion from the defense, to be able to respond to that quickly and get the stuff done that we need to do within the time limit that we need to get it done.
I find that hard to think that you wouldn't prioritize that, whether it be with overtime or, like you said, pulling a girl from another position to come in to help us since your whole office is working on it, so.
We try to as much as we can, but, you know, we do 2 to 3 jury trials a month, and there's only 2 prosecutors here to do that. We come back from spring break, I have a week break, and then I have 3 jury trials 3 weeks in a row. Just, it's tough. It's a lot of hours. It's tough. So that's my fear.
We've got a motion on the floor by Tracy, seconded by Scott Ayres to remove the $5,000 pay increase. All right, call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right. Motion fails 3-2.
I just want to say for the record, like, and I agree with Doc, this whole thing smells wrong. Like, it feels like false pretenses. I understand what it does to the court, I mean, to the rest of the courthouse, that we're making this exception that is 100% wrong, or 100% not wrong, 100% against everything that we normally would do. I'm just going to say, if the family members of this court case were standing in front of us and said, how could you not give I'm just going to finish my statement. I'm going to finish my statement. Please don't interrupt me when I'm speaking in this
I will
meeting.
interrupt you. because
Please do
you're
not
saying
interrupt.
something very unfair.
Point of order, please.
Mrs. Let him speak.
I'm not going to allow $5,000 or $10,000 to be the reason, whether what the prosecutor's done is right, wrong, or indifferent. All the resources need to be here to do this. And that's ultimately what this vote is about to me. So I'm going to say for the record.
I have 100% confidence that Nick will get to us what he needs. But for you to sit there and say that a family member is sitting out there and going to judge us, very unfair statement.
And I would
It'll solve a lot of this.
also like to add that this body has always impressed upon the department heads to run their department as efficiently as they possibly can. And I don't know how the extra pay is going to keep the prosecutor from running his department the way he sees that it needs to be ran. We've always impressed upon the department heads, that's your department, you guys run it the way you need to run it. And I'm not certain that the extra pay would keep him from running this department efficiently.
For that trial.
For that, yeah.
Fair points. Okay, we've got a motion by Doc Stauffer to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.